What's up guys, it's Richard here from Carnage, and today we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different from Noontec. This is the GigaLink N5 Home NAS Media Center. For those who are not familiar with what NAS is, it stands for Network Attached Storage. Basically you can plug this box into your existing home network, you store files on it, some movies, music, pictures, and then you can access it from any of the computers that are on your network, as well as devices like an iPad or your phone, etc. So as you can see down the bottom here, we've actually got some features listed. So it's mobile save, cloud storage, full gigabit Ethernet LAN support, UPnP, it's got support for an iTunes media server as well, FTP support. You can also download BitTorrent straight onto the actual hard drive inside there. Support for Samba, as well as 3 terabytes of hard drive space. On the back here we've also got some information about how the GigaLink N5 can fit into your existing home network. So let's open up the box and take a look at what came inside. So let's start off with the accessories here. We've got our power pack. We've got a USB 2.0 transfer cable. So although this is 2.0, apparently you can also configure the NAS to run USB 3 for increased transfer speeds as well. So this is similar to a printer style cable, so you can plug it into the back of the NAS and then plug it straight into your computer if you wanted to copy files that way. We've got a Cat 6 Ethernet cable. We've got a quick installation guide which shows you how to get the hard drive installed, get it all set up via the user interface, custom registration form, and obviously the NAS itself. So let's take a closer look at this. The first thing I noticed when I took the N5 out of the box is that it does have the overall structure and shape of some of their previous media player models. However, they've gone for a completely different color scheme. As you can see, this is white, whereas all their media players have traditionally been black. Down the bottom here we've got a little Noontec logo, and at the front we have a little LED indicator light showing you the current status of the NAS. On this side we've just got a vent which actually has a small fan on the other side, which ensures the components inside get some constant airflow. At the back here we've got our gigabit Ethernet port, USB 2.0 host port, a little factory reset pinhole, power button, as well as our 12 volt power input, and this side is blank. On the bottom we've got a small sticker which gives you the default information you need to log into the user interface, as well as some rubber feet on the bottom here which actually house the screws, which you can take the bottom plate off and install a hard drive. So let's go ahead and do that now. So as you can see, we've got the bottom plate removed and a hard drive put onto it. It actually came with 4 screws inside the box, so you can secure the hard drive, make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Once that's done, you just need to connect it to the SATA data and the SATA power cables, which are actually inside the NAS itself. To give you a quick close-up of what's inside there. So I'll get all that plugged in and then I'll show you the user interface. So as you can see, we're just logged into the UI here. First thing you notice is it's pretty well laid out. You've got the left hand side navigation where you can just go through everything here. First page you see though, it's got some basic information. So we've got our host group names, the name of the NAS on your network, username, password details, date, time, firmware, and also got a little indicator down here showing you the current capacity of the hard drive. On the network it just shows you your local internal IP address as well as your MAC address information. Under services it shows you what you currently got enabled or disabled on the NAS. Network setup is where you can change these settings yourself. So I've set up with a static IP address so it remains constant, but you can choose to use a dynamic IP address so it changes if you prefer. You can also configure a triple PoE dialer, and also has support for Dyne DNS. So this will allow you to access the NAS from outside your own network. So for instance, say you're at work and you wanted to download a couple of files or look at some pictures, you can log into the NAS from elsewhere by using this, so it's pretty cool. We've also got the UPnP setup here as well. Under here we've got the user setups. This is where you can create accounts, and you can also modify what permissions they have and so forth. Under maintenance we've got our hard disk utility, so if you wanted to save a bit of power, put the hard drive to sleep when it's not in use, you've got a couple of different settings here, or you can disable it altogether, and you can also format the hard drive through this page as well. If they release Noontec release a new firmware version, you can download that from their website, save it onto your computer, browse to the file, hit apply, and then it will go through it all for you. If the NAS isn't actually in reach, you can do a reboot through the UI, as well as a factory reset as well to put it back to how it was when it came out of the box. So we've got our application settings, so we've got the Samba settings here, mobile save, so if you wanted to access it through a mobile device, FTP server settings, a BitTorrent download. So same sort of thing as the factory firmware updates. You just need to download the torrent file, save it onto your computer, browse to it, and then you can configure all the settings and what should progress through here as well. And finally, we've got our media server settings here, so for your photo folder, videos, and your iTunes playlists. So I thought I'd give you guys a quick run through one of the coolest features in my opinion while I do a quick wrap up. So I've got my phone here and I'm going to look at a file that's actually stored on the NAS, then I'm going to copy a picture off my phone and store that onto the NAS, then bring it up on the computer. So NAS is actually a pretty cool thing to have in this stage when you've got so many different devices that all connect to the internet. Having a central repository for all your files doesn't mean you have to leave a computer on anymore and just have a shared drive set up on that. The N5 is pretty jam-packed full of features for all levels of users, such as the DIN DNS for the more advanced people. It's got gigabit Ethernet for fast transfers and even actually looked great as well. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with it, and if you're in the market for a NAS, I would definitely recommend the Noontec GigaLink N5. As usual, I will have a written review, which I will link in the description box just below. Thanks for checking out this video, guys, and if you enjoyed it and want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe.